Alrighty, let's see if we have sound. Alrighty, let's see if we have sound. And we do. Alright. Alrighty, live from Cabot, Arkansas. It's Sunday afternoon. Welcome to Answering Your Financial Questions Live, number 93 with Coach Steve Money. And if you scroll down on my YouTube page, youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, you can see the past live streams, including Ramsey Show After Show, which there will be one tomorrow. Special not Valentine's Day. It's Memorial Day tomorrow. Hashtag dementia. Memorial Day, special Memorial Day, Ramsey Show, After Show. Ramsey Show will probably be a replay, but I'll be live right after it's over. Again, this show, Answering Your Financial Questions, this is the 93rd one of those. And skip over the music for a second. Ramsey Show, After Show, like I said, tomorrow will be 371. And so there has been 370 of those as well. I just want to bring attention to the music playlist. Brand new in the music playlist since last night. Not that many views on the 16:9, the widescreen video of it. But the 9:16, the shorts video, 73 views on that one. So hopefully that will pick up. But yeah, it's You Belong Dead Free. You know that song by T Swizzle, and I appropriated it and made it my own. Hence it's saying Steve's version right there. So check that out if you have, and any of the others. So that makes probably 9 or 10 then is the amount. I should count them one time so I don't keep saying this or that number. Ramsey adjacent songs in that music playlist. All right, let's get to the questions. Upstate New York, D2, Days 15 retirement advice with pension. I'm a public employee who will receive a pension. Also open a Roth 414H account. Technically, it's a 457B plan, which is a 401k for public employees, okay, to supplement the pension. When Dave says save 15%, does he have some sort of calculator for those who are eligible for a pension? He does, because pensions aren't as good as the market. He says you count the pension only for half. So if you are putting, say, 15% into your pension, that would only count as 7.5%. And then you would have to supplement it. But I think, let's see, does he have some sort of would he recommend saving less in the Roth account because of pension? No. The Roth with the free growth would still be better, and the market itself is still better than the returns on a pension. Right now, our employer's online pension calculator says I will receive roughly 66% of my salary per year in retirement. Okay, but I mean, that's not bad at all. In addition, I've been saving 20% of my salary, 20% in just that. So you're probably you're over investing if you have a house that's not paid for yet. Let's open the link in the new tab. Try to do that correctly this time, and I don't think I did. I think I need a new mouse. Where were we at? With an 8% earnings at age 55 should be worth over a little $2 million. Should I be saving less in the Roth? 29 comments. I just want to see if he has the house. Boom. Not saving for kid college though, or paying off mortgage early. So you're doing it wrong. So the idea would be you just invest 15%, and granted, you do have to account for the pension making less than the market would make. And so, yeah, so you're doing it wrong as far as not paying off the mortgage early. And so no higher investing until the mortgage is paid off early. And I thought that might be the case. How about that? It's like I've seen people do stuff and try to not do the baby steps and yet still run it through the Dave Ramsey subreddit or call Dave or show up in Dave's chat and still want to run it by Dave's plan or run it up against Dave's plan. It's like, if it's not Dave's advice and you know it's not Dave's advice, you can just do it without having to check with anybody. So I do not get that part of it, but people love to get the validation, and I'm sure some of the comments probably validated that. Well, the interest on the house is so low. That is called debt leverage. When you keep a debt around in order to invest more, that's debt leverage, and that's not a Dave thing. I don't know if you met Dave before. He is the anti-debt guy. Angry Rhino 74. Retire early to travel. Hello, Dave. My wife and I, Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions, has nothing to do with this subreddit. So, confused about the internet, sir? Or Matt? Yeah, my wife and I, probably, sir. So yeah, confused about the internet, how the internet works. And so this is run by fans. If you would like a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, which you still won't be able to say, hello, Dave, answer this. And on there, that is on Facebook, the Ramsey Baby Steps community. Make sure it says exactly that. If it does not, it will be somebody else's group. And there are plenty of them, including, last I saw, 3 different Ramsey dating sites. And, of course, most of the people in there seem to be married already. My wife and I would like to retire early and travel much of the year. We have several paid-off rental houses, netting $11,000 a month. Okay. Additionally, we plan on renting our home near the beach in California that will pay the mortgage after expenses. I would get that house paid off before you retire, my friend. Regardless of renters paying it off. People love to scheme and scam like that. Lastly, we have $1.4 million in retirement and brokerage accounts. I am 51. My wife volunteers. Our goal is creating a SEP at 54. Substantial equal payments with about $2.5 million and the rental income I've been building for so long that I don't know if the courage to take an extra rent. I enjoy my work, but I enjoy pay off the house first. If you want to liquidate some of the non-retirement investing to do that, that's fine. Okay, so I think what's happening is it's registering 2 clicks when I click open. And see, if you click this, it's going to open it into a different tab. So I didn't do it this time. So it's just got to be careful. Got a sensitive mouse here. But where we're at, I enjoy my work, but I enjoy my travel more. In 3 weeks isn't cutting it anymore. There is no opportunity to work remotely in my position. I know the baby steps well. Well then, why ain't you doing it? My house has about 50% equity and a mortgage at 3%. I'm not going to pay off the mortgage, giving them okay. And dude addressed it to Dave. People are nutty, man. Knows the baby steps, tells you exactly that he's not gonna do what the baby step says, but wrote in to ask about it anyway. Appreciate any help you can provide in making the leap. Yeah, the help is right here. It's called the baby steps, and it says pay off your mortgage early. It doesn't say invest more instead of paying off the mortgage early. So, again, you can do what you want to, sir. Why do you want to run it by Dave if you know that's not what are you the exception somehow? Everybody thinks they're the exception. Everybody does. So, but yeah, That is not the way to do it, sir. But good luck to you. Let's see. Where are those baby steps? There they are. I'd like to have those on the screen. Just handy so I can have them. Advise. That would be advice on debt payment. I guess advise. It could be like a please advise on debt payment. So I'll let this one go. Too late. I already didn't let it go. Sorry. Drawz927. Hi everyone. Hi guys. First time posting here, but have been watching Dave Ramsey on YouTube for a while now. Me too. We have that in common. I have reached baby step 2 after completing saving up $1,000 emergency fund. Excellent. I have 2 debts, and if I use part of my emergency fund, I will be able to get debt free. That is not how that works. The emergency fund is there, and you do not, once you save it, you do not touch it until you have an emergency, and paying off these debts is not emergency. You are supposed to be gazelle intense in paying it off, but that's you making the effort to do it, not, oh, I just want to get it done, so I'm going to use my emergency fund when it's not an emergency, and that, of course, would be doing it wrong as well. People love to do it wrong. You do not dip into your emergency fund. Emergency fund, again, stays there forever. The only time it's used is in an emergency. Same thing with the full emergency fund. Once you are debt free and you pay off all debts, all non-mortgage debts, you get the 3 to 6 months of living expenses, fully funded emergency fund. And same thing, you don't dip into that for some kind of fun expense or anything except an emergency is what that's for. That's why it's called an emergency fund. Let's see. Do I pay off the biggest debt now and pay off the rest as fast as possible with the extra weekly money? Yeah, you pay it off as fast as you can without leaving. Okay, so let's use logic here. Logic. If that was the way to do it, it would just be, that would be step 1. Baby step 2 would be step 1 if you were supposed to do that. Why do you need to save $1,000 before paying that off unless you're supposed to keep the $1,000 around? Logic. All right, let's see. What else? Which allows me to keep my emergency fund in case something were to come up. Imagine that. The personal loan, 8.2 thousand. 1,600 in savings, so you're doing it wrong. That 600 needs to go towards debt. Oh, the EF is, wait a minute. Yeah, so you don't have additional savings in addition to the emergency fund. So that $50 can go to it, and that personal loan 1, I got it too, and personal loan 2, savings is 9,400. Yeah, so you get out of debt immediately. Is that the personal? No, that's 8, 9, 8. Now you can almost be out of debt completely, but you got to drain that savings account. So you're doing it wrong. It doesn't say save $1,000 as fast as possible, and also have different savings as well. It does not say that there. It's just I don't know what they can do as far as keeping it concise without it being, a whole sheet of small type explaining everything that people might do wrong. Save $1,000, you would have to put save $1,000 as fast as possible. I might make up one of these just for fun, so you can see what people do incorrectly. So save $1,000 as fast as possible, you would have to put in here. And hey, do not save extra money. If you have extra savings, that goes on the debt. And then for this one, pay off debt from smallest to largest using the snowball method. Once people do that, I'm trying to think of something that they would do wrong about that. Some people like to do largest percentage rate instead. Or largest payment amount instead of the largest total sum debt owed, but that's not as crazy as all the rest of it. Some people think you do baby steps 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time, and so you save $1,000 first, then you start paying off debts, but you also add to the $1,000 to begin to do step 3. That is not true. You would have to put something about that in there. Invest 15% of your gross income into retirement. You would have to put, do not invest 1 cent more until your freaking house is paid off. You would have to put that in there as well. 4, 5, and 6 are all at the same time as well. So they're still in order. So when the money runs out, the money runs out. So you do the 15% first. You address kid college if they're young or non-existent yet. You don't have to worry about it. You can just skip that one for the time being, and you can just pay off the mortgage early. But say the children were older and you had to put money aside for kids' college, and then you only had a few bucks to put to the mortgage, you would just put the few bucks to it. Or if you had nothing left to put to the mortgage, you would not be able to do anything. But that's the order to attack it in with your extra money, your snowball amount every month, which you should still have, even though once you get step 3 done, you are allowed to do fun things. You can put stuff in the budget that are fun. But yep, everybody's doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Didn't want to get my hair wet. All right, fun times. So yeah, the baby steps would be, if you put the little caveats in there, the baby steps would be twice as long as they are. They would have twice as many lines as they are now. All right, let's see. Next question. Zesty Close, Artist 800. Sell house to buy under Ramsey rules. Yes, especially if you have a mortgage on it. You don't have 2 mortgages at the same time. Debt-free aside from mortgage. Okay, if I were to sell, I might come out owing and getting nothing after realty fees were paid. Only put 3% down in 2023. Well, that was a mistake, sir. Why do you need to move? Current mortgage, $3,250 on 30-year. Why are you worried about Ramsey rules all of a sudden? You weren't then. I mean, maybe he's new to Ramsey. Let's give him a break. I jumped too soon to say, they're doing it wrong, and that since they're asking in a Ramsey subreddit, they might be. The one guy did say he is familiar with the baby steps though, so he deserved it. But maybe this person doesn't. Let's see, 165K a year gross payments, close to about 31% of my take-home pay on the napkin went, but on a 30-year. Yeah, that means you can't afford it, because it's already too much. So if you can't afford it on a 30-year mortgage, you definitely can't afford it on a 15. And so, should I consider moving to get into a more affordable home? Absolutely. So, and you would call the if you owe money, then you would call that stupid tax. And that would be better than continuing to pay on this house that you can't afford. 31%. And so, my goodness, what must it be for a 15-year? My goodness. Yes, definitely downsize in house. Baby step 4. Might want to, if you have to save up money to pay for the difference, if you don't have for the negative equity that you would have in it if you sold it. But 2023, I mean, might have a year of appreciation, maybe not a year. And so yeah, you just made a bad decision on that, and you paid a stupid tax to get out of it because it's way too much house. Even if Dave was fine with 30 years, it's still going to be way too much house. 31 is a lot higher than 25, which is the recommendation. I mean, if you stay in the 20s, maybe we can talk, but depending on your situation. But 31, no. And that bad boy is, I mean, that could be 50% of his take-home pay on a 15. And so the 15 is what keeps you from buying a house you can't afford, which is what this person did. And so that you wonder why that rule is there. That's why it's there, because people will do this. If he didn't say 15 year, they would do that. If he didn't say 25% take home pay, they even do worse than that. See, the banks will approve you for way more than they should. Always. So you can't go by that. Oh, well, the bank thinks I can afford it. Yeah, they're not hurt if you get foreclosed on. That actually makes them money. Tight Medium 1947 says, household income, what's average of or a realistic goal? You don't compare yourself to anybody else. I mean, if you want, you can always try to make more money. You can always change fields if you don't think you're making enough money in there, but comparing yourself to somebody else is idiotic. Let's see. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Make $75K at my full-time job and another $20K at a part-time job. Okay. I mean, that's 95. That's almost $100,000. That is well over the average, even if you were going to be concerned about it. The idea is that you have enough to pay your expenses and also be able to get through the baby steps. Pay your expenses and then put extra money to these baby steps, so you get to step 7 as fast as possible. Let's see, working to get my student loans paid off. Yep. That will take some of the money away, definitely. And so you're doing the baby steps with that. So that's fine. And put some money away before a wedding and kids and whatnot. Okay. Well, shouldn't be living with the person unless there is a wedding, unless this is not your wedding you're talking about. But yeah, there's no putting money away. You're doing the baby steps. So you don't have to, I need addition. I mean, the putting money away would be the 3 to 6 months of expenses. Emergency fund. That would be, and that's taken care of in the step, but you don't have extra money in before that. They're like, oh, now if you have to pay for a wedding, you can do a sinking fund for that. And so, but that's specific for that, not just generic put money away. Well, listening to the show, a lot of the callers are pulling in 25 to 300K household income. Yeah, some are. And that just seems like such a big gap to close. Am I behind or just not seeing the path to that level of income? Not everybody is going to make that. And also that is 2 people working. If you're the only one working and you're not a household yet, apparently, because there's no wedding, so you're not a household, no kids. Hopefully you're not living with the person you are going to be married to, and money shouldn't be combined at all, but you just said your income. You didn't say anything about anybody else. So, and it also depends on line of work and such, but you're talking about, you're not that far off of it, because you make 95K, so about 100K. And so if you had a spouse that made about 100K, you'd be at 200. So it wouldn't be quite this number, but you can't focus in on people that make more money than you. It's going to happen all the time. No matter how much money you make, there's going to be somebody that makes more money than you. And there are a lot of calls and people can't relate to them because the people make so much more money. But a lot of times you got to also realize that them making more money allows them to get into way much more debt than you do, and they often have a larger percentage of debt than the people that don't make much money. So, because of course the bank will again loan them more and way more than they should. And so, but one thing that does help with the income, obviously, and this much is certain, and so I understand people being jealous about it, but that's all it is jealousy. It's not like, I can't relate to it. No, you're just jealous. You can relate to it because you can do math. So you realize that that's more than you're making. So yeah, it's just jealousy. But also, once the higher income people define Dave or figure it out for themselves that, oh, this debt thing is not so great, we should fix that. With a higher income, they can fix it much more quickly. That much is certain. Private wino, Roth 401k or just 401k? It's always Roth first, except for match. Match is absolutely first because that's 100% rate of return. So that's first. Match first. Then any type of Roth account, whether it be a Roth 401k or a regular 401k. But yeah, you should do the Roth 401k. Anybody, and what the Roth does is gives you tax-free growth instead of tax-free contributions. The regular 401k, traditional 401k, is tax-free contributions. And that's a lot less. Sure, but it's better to pay the tax on the contributions that are a much smaller amount than the growth is going to be if you have any appreciable time in the market. Anything over 10 years and you're going to have way more growth than contribution. So that's why Roth is prioritized. Let's see. And again, I'm trying to read it first before I answer, but I just get so excited. I was looking at my 401k contribution, changing a few investment allocations around, and while I noticed there was an option to choose Roth 401k, and yes, you can do that, and that way you may not even have to, if you can do all of your 15% in the Roth 401k, then you don't have to open your own Roth IRA. So, but say they don't have that option. They don't have a Roth 401k option at every employer. So if you only have 401k there, that's when you would do the priorities, match first, your Roth IRA second, and then into the traditional 401k for anything left of that 15%. Let's see, been at this job over 20 years, never noticed it before, but I don't look very often. Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't know about, the Roth 401k. Should I change my regular payroll deduction to the Roth type? I am 62 in the 15 to 20% tax bracket currently. So is it better for me to pay the taxes on this now or wait until I withdraw? At 62, it depends on if you're working until 70. I would probably do that. But what you can do... Oh no, you should definitely change it. Yeah, definitely change it to the Roth type. And so basically, and there's no tax event for doing that because you're not rolling the traditional to a Roth. You're not moving it. You're going to keep all the money in the traditional 401k right where it is. And just let that grow as it is, and you'll have to pay taxes on that, take on the growth on that. That's already set in stone. You will have to do that. But from now on, do not contribute any more to the traditional. And this is why we should read questions. You should change over to the Roth 401k and do that. But again, it depends on if you're retiring in 3 years, I wouldn't worry about changing it. But it just depends if you're gonna work till 70 or maybe even after that included. I would just wait then and have tax events on the withdrawals. All right, reinventing your exit. Excuse me. Tips for getting side work with a 9 to 5. So I'm in baby step 2. For the past few weeks, I've been looking for potential side gigs, part-time work to make some extra cash and pay down debt faster. Good job. Good idea. However, I do work full-time 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and I'm finding it pretty difficult to find opportunities that fit with that availability. That would be weekends, sir. Seems like, or madam. Seems like even part-time roles expect 8-hour shift availability or evening shifts actually start in the afternoon. Not interested in any transport type gigs. That's going to cut out a lot of your thing there, and so you're putting limitations on it, and so expect it to be more difficult to find something like you want. Because I don't think the potential wear of my car would be worth it. All right. Does anyone else have success finding compatible part-time work? I didn't start when I was working 2 jobs. After I started the baby steps, when I was working 2 jobs, I worked 10 to 7. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so I did have no problem working 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Menards. It's a Midwest. It's a big hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot. And so when I worked there, I had and oftentimes I was allowed to stay until the Menards was just like 8 minutes from where I work. So unless I got all sweaty there moving around boxes and stuff, and I would have to go home and take a shower. Anyway, even if I did need to go home and take a shower first, I could still work additional half hour beyond the 4-hour shift, and so because they needed stuff done all the time, and so I was approved to stay another hour every single day. But you saying, well, I'm not gonna do that, and then if you say you're not gonna work weekends either, it's gonna be difficult. Yeah, keep looking, try harder. If you really want to do a second job, you will find one. Too short to buy, save for retirement, or pay off mortgage at 55 years old. 55 years old, I owe $295,000 on mortgage. I only have $40K retirement, 401K, and IRA. Late starter, huh? Me too. I plan on working full-time until about 63, so 8 years. And I hope to be part-time, but might just want to retire. I would like both options. Okay. Right now I'm saving $2,500 monthly towards towards retirement. If I pay off mortgage, $2K extra monthly on mortgage, I will have paid off in 7 years. So 62, so right on time. So leaving me $500 monthly toward retirement. Interest rate is 5.6 percent. Yeah, I might even with that short amount of time. I don't know. I mean, it depends. If you definitely say you're gonna keep working, and you'll definitely know that you're gonna be working, and that's the problem because we don't know the future. So it's hard to say. So according to baby steps, you should be doing retirement, 15% of gross income, and also paying off the mortgage early. Both at the same time, like you are doing. Let's see, $2,500 monthly towards retirement. That might be more than 15%. So if that's more than 15%, you should put the rest of it to the mortgage. But and then you'll still have some to do that. So yeah, since you don't have much. I mean, because how it works is they got 40K altogether, late starter there, 40K altogether. That's only generating $4,000 a year, so that is definitely not enough. Trying to think. That's actually something that. Have other assets, but limited on actual retirement. The other assets, cash them out, pay off the house. 104 comments there. Yeah, I would like to talk about those other assets and how much they are. Like if you have other houses or stuff like that, You're selling all that stuff to pay off your mortgage if you want to still live in your house in retirement. If not, you could sell it and move down right now. Move down in a house right now so that retirement isn't as expensive. Stash ball is 36.36. All right. Stash ball 36.36. Question about trucks. They're not a need. Is it me? But does it seem like nearly everyone who calls into the show has a truck? Yep. Seems like a lot of it, but guys love their trucks. Some females as well. When they say they have a truck, do you think they're only talking about a pickup truck like a Ford F-150 or Chevy Silverado, some of them? Or do you think they're talking about an SUV like a Ford Explorer or Chevy Trax, some of them? Or do people generally use the term truck interchangeably, some of them? Just curious, since when I purchased a Toyota RAV4, 2 different people asked me how I like my new truck. That's not a truck. That threw me off since I never considered an SUV to be a truck, me either. So people are nutty if they're doing that. Okay. Didn't have anything to do with Ramsey, except people calling in about trucks, but that's a truck question. All right. I have opinions on all kinds of things. 40 and finances. All right, that's a fun user ID. Baby step 6, what salary should someone expect to be director of transmission line in the power industry that is over multiple offices? No clue. No clue, dog. No clue. You would have to contact people that would be in the power industry and that would know that stuff. Like everybody that works there does not know what the director of transmission gets. So, I mean, you could Google it if you don't have anybody you could ask, but I would have no idea. Cody Mean 7, investing essential virtual event. Did anyone purchase this event? I did not. I never received an access key, and I'm trying to figure out how to get in. Did you? If you bought it, yeah, you should call the customer care line about that. This was 5 days ago, so hopefully the person figured that out. But I believe they would send that an email. And so because that is a invite only, a purchase only event, that wasn't a free live event on the YouTubes where you just need the link. So hopefully work that out. Charlie and Luna, paying for private school versus moving. Okay, well, we're either going to move or we're going to pay for private school. That's, people paint themselves into corners all the time by that way of thinking. We have 3 kids, and though we originally moved to this town because we thought the schools were excellent, turns out they're not at all. And when you move, guess what? Those might not be at all either. So we can either pay for them to all go private schools for about $22K a year until they get to middle high school, or just move to a nicer area that has excellent public schools that are not overcrowded. But you don't know, they could be just as bad or worse. That would cost a lot more, almost doubling it. But at least we would be investing in something rather than losing money every year in the private justification here. And we get to live in an overall better place. Our current town is just okay, but the school, I get you. You don't like the schools there. You don't know wherever you move to that the schools are fine. You do not know that. Because guess what? You thought the schools were excellent there. And you're going to think the schools are excellent wherever you move to. And guess what? They might not be as good. They could be even worse. So you got to be careful with stuff like this. People love to do everything for their kids. I understand if it's a really bad situation, and so you got to get the kid. And if it's something that's only happening with one child, that doesn't mean the other 2 children are having a bad time. So you really have to think logical about this stuff and not say, oh well, we need to get all 3 kids out if one kid is having a problem there. And then we have to either move to somewhere we don't know how the schools are going to be, or we have to pay for private school, and that's the only options you have. And so, good luck with that. I would think neither. I would think neither. See what's going on with the. I mean, I don't know, and it's possible they didn't even try to work anything out with the school. They didn't even talk to anybody about it at the school about whatever the problem is. And so people always do that. They always go to the wrong source. They always try to take it rather than talk to somebody at the school. They're just going to pay for private school or move. So, well, let's see if they expanded on it. I'm not guessing. No. Our current town is that schools haven't lived up to their reputation. However, we live in a decent house here that is super affordable for us. And that's a good thing too. And so you got to weigh everything. So I would try to make it work there more before giving up on the area or definitely doing private school. That's a lot of money. Ad Crafty 2012, need help deciding which debt to pay my extra money to? Well, it says right here on baby step 2, pay off debts from smallest to largest, doesn't it? I have $350 left over once my other bills and household essentials, household is one word, essentials are taken care of. Should I put the $350 towards a personal loan or the care credit, whichever one has the lowest balance? I've already cut out all of my TV subscriptions, excellent, and just basically watch free YouTube videos, great, excellent. Got a library card, excellent, so I could just rent books for free. I'm not really in a situation to pick up more hours at work or get a second job. I know that's most people's go-to. Already work full-time and have 2 small children. Do you all have any advice on saving more money? Oh, this is extra questions. I don't eat out anymore. I pack my lunch. Great. You just have to go in your budget and see if there's anything else you can cut out. See if there's something you can do from home. If you're off on Saturday and Sunday, see if there's something you can do from home to make any money. Let's see what the rest of this is. My personal loan is for $10,000 at 10% rate and $250 a month, and my care credit is for $10,419. So out of 16, so close, but it's going to be the $10,000. Pay it on the personal loan because it's the smallest to largest amount. Exciting accident, 88. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour. Pay off car loan early to save on insurance costs. You would pay the car off, pay off the car loan early anyway in baby step 2. Hi everyone, hi guys. I need advice on a financial decision. I have a car loan with $15,000 balance, $366 monthly payment, interest rate does not matter. One flip. My insurance is $430 a month because the bank owns the car, making my total monthly payment $796. I'm considering 2 options to lower my cost. Now, how much lower is that going to be? Some people freak out about that. And so if the insurance is only going to be $400, that's only $30 a month. And so you might be freaking out over nothing. Oh, goodness gracious. And then I'm considering 2 options a little bit. Here's my number 1 and my number 2. So I'm going to lock myself into those 2 regardless of whether something else, a third option might be better. I'm considering take a $10,000 loan at 8.25 for 36. How much do you owe on that? Oh, $5,000 from savings to pay off the car. You should have done that already. You should only have $1,000 in savings. Again, it needs to say save $1,000 as fast as possible and don't have possible and don't have 1 cent more in savings, in general savings. Now, if you're going to need tires soon, yeah, you can have a separate savings for that, but just for that amount and just for that purpose. Every other bit of money goes to pay off debt. People do not understand, or they don't care. Probably equal of both, I'm guessing. Okay, so the problem, and that's 4.25% interest, and you're going to pay more interest. You're going to pay almost twice as much interest there. That's stupid, sir. You're going to pay twice as much interest so you can pay less insurance. Because the bank owns the car, making my total monthly payment $796. I would try to get insurance elsewhere other than through the bank, it being part of your car payment, if it actually is. If it's all in together, then they are screwing you over, most likely. And let me guess, you dealt with a dealer here. One is stupid to pay more interest because you're going to cancel out anything you can save on the insurance. Take a $15,000 loan. No, you wouldn't do that either. Everything you're doing here and thinking about is bad. You just pay it off. Search for a different insurance. Continuing my current setup would cost $35,000. Nobody says to do it. You're the one with $5,000 extra in savings not already applied to the car, sir. So you're the one deciding that it's going to remain the term. The idea I don't know if you heard of Mr. Ramsey, he's the no debt guy. The idea is that you pay off debts as quickly as possible and you don't take out any more. And so that reduces the remaining term and reduces the amount of interest that it will cost. Scenario B1, what? Oh, the most savings, but use B2. Why is it? Where's B come in there? What is B? I don't know why. People are nutty with their way of thinking. I don't get it sometimes. Or is there something I'm missing? Yeah, it's not worth it to do that. Find better insurance than the one that you have that apparently is part of the payment. If the dealer found that insurance for you, that's probably the highest insurance rate that you would be paying from anywhere. So check into other insurance. Otherwise, put your $5,000 onto the car loan. Hey, I got a great idea. You ain't gonna believe this, son. You are not gonna believe it. Or daughter. It could be female. You're not gonna believe this. Check this out. Sell the car. Sell the car and buy a cheap one, and then you don't have that problem. Then that not only saves the 366 and the 430. Sell the car, use the $5,000 to pay the difference if you're upside down in it, which is likely, and then get a cheap car, cash. And then you have no car payment. So then you would not have the $796 car payment, which is crazy. So sell the car. I should have thought of that one first, even before reading your two options, which will not save you that much, if anything. Crazy. People are nutty, man. People are nutty with their way of thinking. I don't know why you would even get there. And I don't even know why, if you're asking for advice, I don't even know why you would try to help by putting it into 1 and 2 options. Upstairs concert at 938. What to do? Just sold my condo, netting about $160,000 and paying off all lingering debts. Currently in a sweet situation. You ever take it off any sweet jumps? I was a little more country than Napoleon Dynamite there. Sweet situation where I do not have to pay rent for the foreseeable future. In-laws have an older home nobody is using. We are bringing in about $140K a year. We've been struggling with paying off credit card debt before the sale, but we were just about out of it when the condo sold. Great. About $35K. Never going back to that again. Excellent. So painful. Yep. Currently, the money is in a money market account, earning a little more than 4%. We aren't sure when we'll be moving out of here, but we want to use most of it for a down payment, I'm assuming. Down payment on a house. We were looking at CDs for a big chunk of the money. Our plan is to pile money away and start investing more. I've boosted my retirement to about 15%. This is the last month where we've not needed to be stressed with money, but we don't want to screw this very nice situation up. Any advice? Well, you would adhere to the baby steps, so that would mean you would have your full emergency fund at this point. So you would have that. How's the lighting? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So you would have that, the emergency fund, and you would do that before you would put a down payment on a house. So, I mean, you can even put it in the market if you're not going to buy for 5 years. Other than that, the 4% is fine. I don't know that I would do CDs unless they're going to be significantly more than that 4%. To pile money away and start investing more. So that's the problem. I mean, you can do both. Boosted my retirement to about 15%. Yeah, so as long as you have the full emergency fund, you are on step 4. And so definitely you can do investing. But if you're saving for a down payment, you can also not invest for 3 years, per Mr. Ramsey. So, or you can do the percentages and say down payment and investing is up to you. As far as, I mean, you wouldn't do more than 15%, but you can do like 7.5 and 7.5 to investing and for retirement, and the down payment could do that. Or like I said, if you want to save up a larger down payment faster and get out of there faster, then you would you can make investing be 0% for 3 years, and so that would let you get out of there faster. If you aren't worried about it being faster there, do the 15%, and then whatever other money you have beyond the 15%. Then you just pile that money for the down payment. And again, you wouldn't put more than 15% of gross. And this is household income. You're talking about hour, so don't know if wife is working. So that would be involved as well, because she should be investing too if she is. If not, a spousal retirement account would need to be started. So, yeah. So, I mean, this is one of the times where it is completely up to you how you balance step 3B, which is down payment, and step 4, which is investing for retirement. And so, for just a short time, not forever, but for just a short time. So, it's totally up to you. So, you get to decide on this one. Most of the times, you don't get to decide and still follow the baby steps. But this time, you do. How about that? So take advantage of it. Charles Strickland. Is an every dollar debt category required? I don't think so. Recently paid off all of my debts, including student loans. I have no credit cards. I want to start using the EveryDollar app, but it will not let me delete the debt category. As I said, I have no debt and would like to keep it that way. Is that category required or something that I may not delete? I do not know. Debt free. Congratulations on that, sir. I don't know about that. I mean, I get you could just change it to 0, I guess. It may be something about that it doesn't let it happen. You can also try logging in on the website and see if you can delete it from there. Sometimes websites are more functional than the apps are. So, but yeah, not that familiar with EveryDollar. I didn't like it. I went back to spreadsheet. Guess what? If I could talk, it lets me delete whatever I would like to. Another Dave's Investing Essentials course. Mary Strategist. Didn't have a chance to catch Dave's Investing Essentials. Anyone attend and have any major takeaways to share? There's 6. I didn't watch it. That's totally a pay for play deal. It wasn't a free YouTube stream like most of the other ones. So I have no idea. Some people in the Ramsey show chat were under the impression that he was going to tell his exact mutual funds that he invests in, and I doubt that happened. Don't know though. 212 temporary. Should we pay ourselves back for a car? I think if that happened, there would be people in the chat talking about it. So, but I don't know. Should we pay ourselves back for a car? Last year, my wife changed careers that required us to buy a larger car. Required. Need. Really? Really. However, we never budgeted for the car. We had the money and we bought it. Since then, we've been trying to budget repayment of the car back in. So you didn't buy it, you financed it. And part of step 0 here, forthcoming video, I've learned to make better videos, as you can see if you watch the You Belong Debt Free video. I'm working on it, trying to get better at it, and so I think soon I'll be able to do the missing baby steps video, which is baby step 0, and step 3B, the aforementioned down payment for a house. So baby step 0 is where you say the debt thing is not going to happen again. We're not taking out any more debt. We're paying off what we have and not taking out any more debt other than perhaps a mortgage. Dave's advice, of course, is to pay cash for a house, but he will not yell at you if you take out a mortgage, but no other debts. Of course, there's the exception of if you get a smaller loan that allows you to get out of something underwater, like an underwater car, that would allow you to, basically you're replacing a larger loan with a smaller loan. And so that is approved as well. Let's see. Boom. We had the money and we bought it. What? Oh, back into our unsheltered savings accounts every month. Okay, so that's just, again, that's just something in their mind that they have it. Well, we had it in our unsheltered savings accounts and we want the money to go back into that. And so, okay, that's something with their little situation here. Is this following the baby step plan? No. You wanted the car. You bought it out of savings you had, hopefully. Not emergency fund, and so you bought it, and so that's just the end of it. Now with any income, you're doing the baby steps. There's not a part in here that says and then replenish the savings that you used to buy the car from. There's nothing like that. You should only have the 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. If you have other debt, you should only have $1,000. Is this following the baby step plan? Kinda, but again, you shouldn't have more savings than $1,000 if you're paying off debt still. If you are, you should only have the emergency fund and the unsheltered savings accounts. You're talking about multiple accounts, so I'm assuming that's not the emergency fund either. So I don't know if you're following it or not. Good question. Or should we defer on purchasing the car until we saved up money specifically for? Oh, baby step 7. Okay, my bad. This is why you read the question first. Okay, my bad. So step 7, you get to do what you want except go into a lower baby step. And so you didn't take a loan on it, so you're fine. You bought it in cash like you're supposed to. Hopefully it was not new, because you don't get a new car unless you're a millionaire. Can't afford the depreciation on it. So you buying it out of your savings accounts, that was your choice. And it's your choice again to try to, well, we're going to make up for that. But you're pretending your unsheltered savings accounts are a bank and you want to pay back that bank of your unsheltered savings accounts for the car purchase. And so that's something that's just going on in your mind here. But you can do whatever you want with the income, including that. So you can certainly do that. You can put that wherever you want. You can even invest more than 15% since you're on baby step 7. So all good. All good. You're just having a thinking thing, which does happen. Some people think. I'm sure I think about stuff in ways that other people can't fathom as well. But like especially in baby step 7, I wouldn't be worried about all, oh, well, it's this much was in this savings account and that much was in that savings account. And we got to get it back up there to where it was. No, you don't. As long as you're being intentional with all the money coming in and you're saving it somewhere, to me, it doesn't matter. So you are paying yourselves back for the car because you didn't borrow money from it. So, I just don't think of it that way. If you save it, then that means it's eligible. You use the money, so that means that money was eligible for a car purchase, and so you made the decision right then to buy it, and so you're not borrowing it from yourself. That's not how that works. So, whatever's going on in your mind, if it makes you happy, you can put the money back into your unsheltered savings accounts. And I don't know why you wouldn't. If you think that way, I don't know why you wouldn't just do that instead of having a question about it. Where else would you put the money? You're on baby step 7, so you don't have a mortgage to pay. You don't have anywhere else for it to go except maybe more investing, which you might want to consider that. But you can have as much savings and cash as you want to. Generally, you don't need any more other than some sinking funds for specific purchases, but you don't need anything more than the 6 months of emergency fund for savings. But you're allowed in step 7, you're allowed to have any savings account you want. You can have 100 if you want. War Environmental 677 paid off undergrad loans. Still got a long way to go. Just made a lump sum payment to finish the last of my undergrad loans. I'm going to pause and say, do not make lump sum payments. Understand it might be a lump sum if you get the money, if you receive the money lump sum, but never save up money and then pay it off, but because you're paying more interest that way. Instead, if you pay out of every paycheck, then you're going to be paying less interest. And the reverse also works in the market. If you're investing and you don't make more money, you actually make less money by saving up a lump sum and then investing it. You actually make less money because you're missing all of the growth from here. I think you can see my cursor, but I just made a line in it. At all the points on the line, you would be getting returns on that all that time. And if you just wait and put the lump sum in right there, you missed out on all the back return. So let's see, where are we at? I still have I've paid $38,000 over 3 years. Excellent. I still have about $150 to go for graduate school loans, but I'm going to celebrate this as a win. Absolutely it is. It's the only debt I have, and have been using Ramsey's snowball method to tackle the smaller sums first. That is exactly, figured it out. Of course, grad school, so really smart probably. So figured out the baby steps. Didn't do anything other than what the baby steps said. Cool. Now I am left with just the large ones, but I can do it. Absolutely. Just need to stay motivated. You are absolutely correct, sir. Alrighty. Okay. What we got? 4 days left of questions yet. All right. So yeah, I guess I'll call it here at about an hour because there is a Ramsey show after show tomorrow. There'll be other content in that, of course, including the live performance debut of You Belong Debt Free. Shout out T Swizzle. and D. Ramsel on that for the inspiration for those. So that will be on there. Also some other stuff other than me singing. Yeah, probably another song or two in addition to You Belong Debt Free as well on the Ramsey Show. After show tomorrow. Probably going to be a replay for the Ramsey Show, but after that's over, approximately 6:05, something like that, p.m. Eastern Time is when the after show will start. As you can see, it's right there. Monday, May 27th, Memorial Day. That is tomorrow as of this recording. Also, Thursday, May 30th. So there's 2 this week, and that's, of course, why I'm saving questions as well. Also, Wednesday, June 19th, and Friday, June 21st. So there's going to be 2 in June at least. Schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. You can do that at calendly.com / coachstevemoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about anything on my channel or anything Ramsey. Be more than happy to answer questions and such. PayPal.me / coachstevemoney for donations. Alternatively, Cash App, $CoachSteveMoney, or a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney, gmail.com. Alrighty. Once again, there it is. You Belong Debt Free. And of course, I did a short version of a minute of it. Slightly different without the extra added photos in it, but see, look, I got some video behind it, and I also put in extra related pictures in there, so I'm getting better at video. So almost ready to do that missing baby steps in video. Alrighty. So then now what we do is we say make smart financial decisions every day. Oh, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. So much appreciated.